Hello all. The topic for today is the Rowlatt Act and the Jallianwala Bagh massacre. We know that the first big event after Gandhi came back from South Africa, the first big event that happened was the Rowlatt Act and the Rowlatt Satyagraha. It is important for us to know when what had happened. Okay, the timeline we have to know, but first we have to know what is what, then when it happened. Okay, it will be easier for us to link up. I keep telling this in all the videos because it's very important for history, otherwise it is very difficult to remember history. So let's not waste our time. I'll tell you how we write the timeline also. I'll do it in the later videos after I finish everything. Okay, my main focus will be the Indian national movement only, which is very specific to prelims, that is mentioned in the prelims. I am using the Spectrum revised 2018 edition, Spectrum, a brief history of modern India. You can follow any edition, everything has the same content. We start with Rowlatt Act today. The Rowlatt Act, it was called as the Defence of India Regulations Act of 1915. It was framed in 1915, but it was passed in 1919. What was this Rowlatt Act? It was called by two names. Okay, Defence of India Regulations Act, or it was also called as Anarchical and Revolutionary Crimes Act. Okay, it is famously called as Rowlatt Act because the whichever committee had recommended this act or drafted this act, that committee was headed by a person called as Sir Sidney Rowlatt, who was a judge. What is this act is? It is a seditious conspiracy. If they see that you are against the British rule, if you are not loyal to the government, that will be called as sedition. Okay, generally what is sedition is, if you are not loyal to the government, it will be called as sedition. So here they are meaning to tell that you are going to be disloyal to the British government that is there in India. So if this happens, they will file you, or they will charge you on seditious conspiracy under the Rowlatt Act. So why was there fight for this act? Why did people not like this act? This act especially was for Indian people only. All these political activists, whoever were there, they used to fight against the British, right? Whatever the acts they used to do, people used to fight against it, and people even fought and killed many officers also. So it was mainly to tackle these people, these kind of acts were being brought into India. They will be, what is the problem? Even though, okay, you can go to court and you can fight your case, right? But still, why was this law unfair? This law was very much unfair because it is not letting you go to court at all. Okay, and because if they think that, here I have written, see the third point, mere suspicion of treason. Just if they suspect you that you are doing some seditious act, they can arrest you without any warrant or without any charge sheet. Okay, they can just arrest you and put you in jail, and you will not be heard at all. There will be a separate court that will be set up, which is going to have 3 high court judges. They will only decide what punishment will be given to you, and you cannot go to appeal anywhere else. So this act is completely not fair upon Indians. You, first of all, they are not telling you why you are being arrested. Second, they are not giving you chance to talk. Third, whatever decision they take is final. You have no appeal. This is a very discriminatory act on part of Indians. So here, another discrimination that was there was, now whenever you are charged on something, you have to provide evidences. Here, whatever evidence that people were providing, whatever evidence this people were using to prove you as you are doing a seditious act, to prove you wrong, those evidences cannot be accepted under Indian Evidences Act. Okay, that kind of what you call as lame evidences also were being used in the courts. This is also another discriminatory part. The very important part are these last two points. Habeas corpus was also suspended. What is habeas corpus? According to the polity, when we study, habeas corpus is a writ, okay, where you file in the court to produce the person to you. When somebody has arrested somebody, when the police has arrested somebody, you file this habeas corpus telling the police to produce them in front of the court or show them to you. This is called as habeas corpus. This also is suspended during this Rowlatt Act, or not during this Rowlatt Act, because of Rowlatt Act habeas corpus is suspended. Your right to freedom of speech and movement is also suspended. And whenever they try you, okay, whenever there is a trial in the court, this will all be done in secrecy. Secretly all this will be done. And as we can see, this is a lot of what we call as lot of discrimination on Indians. There is also control on press during the Rowlatt Act. So here what will happen is people are enraged by this. When people are enraged, they start revolting. Then they started something called as Satyagraha, which is the first mass strike. We have to remember which is the first mass strike. It is for the Rowlatt Satyagraha. Okay, first strike was Ahmedabad mill strike, but this is a mass strike. So this is pan-India kind of a event. Here Indians felt very much betrayed, and Gandhi called it as a black act, meaning this is applicable only to Indians. So he said that it is a black act in that sense also, and it is like a black mark. Okay, in that sense also he called it as a black act, and he called for all India protest. Gandhi had formed a Satyagraha Sabha, and to this Satyagraha Sabha, the younger people of the Home Rule League and the Pan-Islamist, these two people joined the Satyagraha Sabha of Gandhi. Here what happened was masses, that is the common people, they found a direction to act. Now they have a leader to tell them what they have to do. Masses found a direction to act. Next, peasants, artisans and urban poor people also participated. Third one was orientation of national movement turned into the masses permanently. Now, till now, there was only participation of leaders that was taking place in any national movement that happened till now. Now, permanently this national movement, from now on when you see, common people are going to participate in large numbers. So if there is a statement given in exam, orientation towards masses turned in non-cooperation movement, is it true? No, it started with the Rowlatt Satyagraha itself. Then what Gandhi did was he gave a statement because of this Rowlatt Act. He told that salvation would come when masses were awakened and they become active in politics. He gave this statement. It can also be asked, when was this statement given, in wake of which movement? It was during Rowlatt Satyagraha. Even before this Rowlatt Satyagraha was launched, there was huge scale violence that was seen in Punjab. Large scale violence was seen in Punjab even before this Rowlatt Act was launched. What happened was, there was a person called as Lieutenant Michael Dwyer who used an aircraft strafing against violent protesters. He used this method. Always remember, the person Dwyer is different from the General Dyer who comes later in the Jallianwala Bagh massacre. Okay, these two people are like contemporaries, you can say. They are existing at the same time, Dwyer and Dyer. Okay, but they are two different people. Next, what happens is, because of this is going to lead to Jallianwala Bagh massacre. Okay, this is not a direct call to Jallianwala Bagh massacre, but somehow it is linked. How it is linked, we'll see. Jallianwala Bagh massacre happened in 1919. So what is this Jallianwala Bagh massacre is, when this act was passed, the severely affected place was Amritsar. Okay, the worst affected place is Amritsar. At the starting, when the act was passed, people were protesting peacefully. Later, when the protest went on, people started becoming violent. So in the beginning, there was no violence. Later on, there was violence, because now we saw there was large scale violence in Punjab, firing, all that had happened in Punjab. People were killed in Punjab. Here, two people were arrested, Saifuddin Kichlu and Dr. Satyapal. They were arranging meetings and they were addressing these meetings. Just because of that, these two people were arrested by the British government. And because these two people were arrested, we know that they will be arrested under Rowlatt Act. They are not given a chance to be heard. So people started protesting. When they started protesting, it became very violent because the police started firing. When they started firing, People also became very violent and they responded. 5 police people were killed, and there was one lady called as Marcella Sherwood who was going on a bicycle. She is a European lady. She was going on bicycle, and that lady was beaten up by the protesters. Now what happened, because it was turning very violent, from Britain they sent a person called as General Dyer. Okay, this person General Dyer, they told him, please go and reinstall law and order in the place. Okay, but what did this person do? The Dyer, he came to India. He started giving proclamations. He told that people should not leave the city without a pass, and no groups of more than 3 people should not be there in one place. He gave these 2 proclamations. He told that people should not leave the city without the pass, and there should not be more than 3 people grouping together. But we know that now we have all kinds of modern communication media. Then at that time he has given a written statement. How will it go around, and how will people be aware of whatever he has given? People are not aware. His message also didn't reach a lot of people. They didn't know. Now what happened was, there is a coincidence that happens. Next day there is Baisakhi festival. Okay, there is Baisakhi festival. Because of that festival, people, 20,000 people will come to Jallianwala Bagh. It is a garden. Jallianwala Bagh is a garden. The people will collect there to celebrate Baisakhi festival. They don't know about the proclamation orders that is given by Dyer. So they have accumulated. There is another group also in the same Jallianwala Bagh. They are conducting meeting. These people are protesters who are fighting against the Rowlatt Act. So these people, what in the meeting they have decided is, they have decided 2 things. First is, they opened fire right in Punjab, that they had condemned. They were condemning that firing. They told that British has to apologize for that firing. Second thing is that they have to repeal the Rowlatt Act. They have to withdraw the Rowlatt Act. These 2 things were happening in Jallianwala Bagh garden there. Now what happened? Now Dyer appears on the scene. Now Dyer appears on the scene. What he does is, he will make all his soldiers who have come with him, he will make them surround the Jallianwala Bagh, and he will close the only exit gate that is present there, and he will start firing on the unarmed crowd. What will happen now? No, he has not given any warning for the people to go away from there. He immediately started firing at the people who were just there for Baisakhi festival also. It is like firing on the innocent people. He started firing. Nearly 379 people were dead and 1100 people were wounded according to British records. We know that British record will give a very less number, but people say that there were more than 1500 people killed. Here what happened is, Rabindranath Tagore, Gandhi and all other leaders, they were shocked by this kind of a violent movement that took place. So many people were killed. So many innocent people were killed. Because of this, everybody was upset. Rabindranath Tagore gave up his knighthood. Gandhi gave up his title of Kaisar-i-Hind, which he had got because of his work in the Boer Wars. So these 2 things happened. It is important for us to remember who gave up what title because of what event. Okay, I'll tell you why this is important when I tell you about another person who gives up his title in another event. Or you might be knowing, there was one person called Subramaniam Iyer who gave up his title when Annie Besant was arrested. Okay, it is important for us to know who gave up the title, what title, and when did they give it up. Then now Gandhi thought that people now who are fighting for independence are correct, because British don't deserve to rule India. He felt like that. He felt that independence is now inevitable. He wants independence. A person called as APJ Taylor, he gave a statement called as decisive moment when Indians were alienated from the British rule. This was the moment when Indians felt that British are some alien kind of species. People felt like that. And Bhagat Singh, who was only 11 years old when this massacre took place, later he goes on to find out the Naujawan Bharat Sabha. He says that this massacre has ended the non-cooperation movement. It is an apathy to of end of non-cooperation movement. Uddham Singh was a person. His real name is Ram Mohammad Singh Azad. This person assassinated Michael O. Dwyer. He did not kill Dyer. Okay, don't confuse it. He killed Michael O. Dwyer, who was a lieutenant. Because of that, Uddham Singh was hanged. But Uddham Singh did not kill Dyer. Okay, Hunter Committee. Now, because of all this Jallianwala Bagh massacre that happened, here we can see Jallianwala Bagh massacre that happened. Now there has to be a committee that has to look into what all happened, what are the casualties because of that firing that happened because of Dyer. So they set up a committee called as Hunter Committee under a person called as Lord William Hunter, who was the Solicitor General of Scotland. This is also called as the Disorders Enquiry Committee. Every committee will have an official name. Okay, Disorders Enquiry Committee. Because Hunter is the head, it is also called as Hunter Committee. During this time, Secretary of State was Montague. Montague was also very much shocked. Because of that, they set up this Hunter Committee. They started investigating in Delhi, Bombay and Punjab regions. There were also Indian members in this Hunter Committee, Setalwad, Pandit Jagat Narayan, Sardar Sahibzada Sultan Ahmed Khan. When they called Dyer to tell his statement, they have to take statement from him, right? When they called him, Dyer told that he did his job. He did not accept, he was not guilty of what he did. He just said that I just did my job. What happened is all these people, whoever were there in this Hunter Committee, everybody condemned the act of Dyer. They told him that it is a very inhuman act on the part of Dyer. So they called it inhuman and un-British. It is not the way the Britishers have to be behaving. So, but what happened because of Hunter Committee? They just gave a report, but there were no actions taken actually on the Hunter Committee report. There was no penal or disciplinary action that was taken, but this whatever decision the Hunter Committee had given, this was upheld by the Army Council also. There was Indemnity Act for the protection of officers before the committee. This is also called as the Whitewashing Bill. Because of this Indemnity Act is going to protect these white people. So, it is also called as the Whitewashers Act. People didn't like this. Only because of this act, now General Dyer is not being punished because of that, right? So, people like Motilal Nehru and others, they criticized that bill very, very much. Then this matter went up to England. In England, there is a person called as Winston Churchill, who is the Secretary of State for War. He is not towards Indians. He does not like Indians. But still, he said that whatever General Dyer did was monstrous. And there was another Morning Post that had collected 26,000 pounds to give it to Dyer. You can see how inhuman it is. He did an inhuman act, but still people collected 26,000 pounds and they gave it to him. They told Dyer to leave the job and they gave him half pay and they sent him home on army pension. Something very interesting that happened, something very unpopular that happened was there was a clergy of the Golden Temple. His name is Arur Singh. This person, what he did was he honored General Dyer. When this happened, this led to the this person was there in Sri Darbar Sahib. So when this incident happened, when he honored him, nobody liked it. Even the Sikhs didn't like it. They all started protesting for the reforming of the Gurudwaras. So this event led to the Gurudwara reform movement also. Now what did the Congress feel? Congress view of this was, Congress formed its own non-official committee. They formed its own non-official committee like the Hunter Committee to look into the matter of the Jallianwala Bagh massacre. In these, the members were Motilal Nehru, C.R. Das, Abbas Tyabji, M.R. Jaikar and Gandhi also was there. This is important to remember. Gandhi was there in this enquiry committee. they unanimously told that whatever General Dyer did was very much inhuman. And after this is going to start the non-cooperation movement, or NCM. Thank you for watching. Good luck and see you in the next video.